Man, I have to be honest. My day was going so good. It was going pretty good. Today, today's date is January 23rd, year 2020. Anyways, it's my son's birthday. I'm all excited for him. Then I get the news. Matt Stafford wants to be traded. For a lot of people here in Detroit, man, this means like a very good thing for y'all. I'm not sure what planet you guys came from. Not sure if you know a lot of football. You might think you do because you play Madden, shit like that. I just want to make it very clear. All right. First of all, let me just introduce myself because I am going to put this on YouTube. You can see my name says Detroit Rage. I also go by Nines Up. I'm an admin at a Trash Talk page on Facebook. You can follow us at NFC North Trash Talk 2 at Facebook on Facebook, whatever. Anyways, Matt Stafford has been the only significant reason, the only reason at all why this team has been relevant. I kid you not. I'm not speaking as an opinion. These are facts. We were proven just within last season. What would our world be without Matt Stafford? When we found out what it would be, we legit lost every single game. Now, a lot of you were probably thinking, oh, we only won 2 more games this season, blah, blah, blah. But if you look at things mathematically, right? Because, we're talking about football here. This is 11 players on one side of the ball, not counting on the defensive side of the ball, which is 11 other players that are not the same, right? This ain't basketball. We're not talking about the 91 Pistons or the 89-90 Pistons. None of that shit. We ain't talking about the 04 Pistons. None of that shit, bro. All right? These guys legit have to, play both sides of the ball, right? Now, when it comes to football, no, man, there's more variables into this, man. There's a lot more into it, and there's a lot less games, you know what I mean? So you have to really take in consideration that one man cannot carry a flipping team, okay? So you have to at least take that information and store it right here and give it some kind of worth, because, honestly, it is historically known, if you look at every single team that has had a successful season for the past some odd years, it has been teams that have a top 10 defense, they have a top 10 running game, and they'll have, a mediocre quarterback, at the very least. So, we already, and this is something that I've argued over and over again with people, and I've established this as a fact. And in the process of a rebuild, the last thing you want to do is get rid of a franchise quarterback that will set you back almost $20 million once you get rid of him. You don't want, this negative cap that you just don't have any room to wiggle out of. And then you have people who believe that they know what they're talking about, who think that we might save money when, man, bro, you might like the Lions. You guys might like the Lions. You might be from the city, but you don't know. You really don't know. You just, This team was a contending team. It was a legitimate playoff contending team. And the Bob Quinn regime, when he brought in Matt Patricia, set this team back an enormous amount of time. An enormous amount of time. Their policies and philosophies costed us so many good players and so many players to want to leave that honestly, man, Megatron doesn't want to step back into a Lions, building for any reason whatsoever because of the way that everything was handled with him. And honestly, man, that was reminiscent to the same shit that happened with Barry Sanders. I'm sorry for my profanity. I apologize. But it is just so hard, so hard. And there's so much that I want to cover, so much that needs to be legit ironed out and talked over because this franchise, man, they whiffed on the GM. Immediately once they hired this man, and I knew he had no experience, why not just give Bob Quinn more time? I mean, that's the case. You hired an exact replica of Bob Quinn. What was Bob Quinn? A guy that recruited talent, a scout. What is this guy? A scout. I mean, you just love redrawing a blueprint for failure. I don't get it. Perhaps you like it. I can't be okay with it. I can't fall in line with it. I just honestly, like, as a Lions fan, I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted to sit and think that we're about to go through. I'm sorry. Possibly 5 years, if not more, on a rebuild. I mean, we've seen a lot of other teams not take so long, but we have to be realistic in who we're considering and who we're talking about. This is the Detroit Lions, and things that really kind of make sense just don't make sense to them. And I really thought that they were taking this approach a little seriously because of, the angle that they were taking. But when I honestly seen who we chose at GM and then immediately followed by, the hiring of the head coach, I just knew within my heart of hearts that this team was not taking it seriously at all. They're really content with the city hating them. Like, everybody that loved Barry Sanders, like myself, that grew up watching him, 12, 13 years old, wearing his jersey, wanting to be number 20, on the flag football field. We can rest assured, bro, that we will leave this earth and we will not see a Super Bowl here in Detroit. I'm 100% certain on it. When Barry Sanders left, and I had made this clear to some of the guys, some of the YouTubers. I think it was Luke G that I spoke about this with. I told him, I said, like, listen, man, when Barry Sanders left, honestly, man, I quit watching the Lions. I just couldn't take it no more. You know what I mean? Like, even though I was young, I couldn't understand. Like, that guy was the football version of Michael Jordan. It was at the same time. We were watching the greatness at the same time. You know what I mean? And it was just so sad that the Lions just couldn't get a quarterback behind this man to help him get to the promised land, because if anybody that's my age and they remember correctly, right? The Lions, when they went and they finally had that one, playoff win in '91. When we went to the NFC Championship to face Washington, they like the defense really focused in on Barry, and they only allowed him like 30 something yards. You know what I mean? And you cannot win playoff games, man. Not even rushing for 40. You need 100 plus yards, bro. You need 120, 140. You need to ball out during a championship game, so that way, your quarterback ain't trying to sit there and do everything. But we didn't have Matt Stafford back then. We didn't even have a quarterback, bro. We've been begging since way back in the day for a quarterback. And honestly, I had told it wasn't Lucci, it was Derek P. Fields. I had told Derek Fields, I said, listen, man, I said, I left the Lions alone. I swear. When Barry retired, I left them alone. I say, man, it wasn't until Stafford came back. Because honestly, man, I was watching the Wolverines play, and I seen the whole thing with Brady, beating Chad Henne out of a starting spot, beating Bama out of the Orange Bowl. You know what I mean? That was on a comeback. Just amazing shit. And then he get drafted like the very last quarterback, I think it was like the very last draft pick period, man. And then he goes into the pros. I completely lose sight of where he went. So I noticed when Drew Bledsoe got hurt and Tom Brady came in, that's when I realized, oh my God, Brady's playing for the Patriots. So I watched the Patriots, but I didn't watch the rest of the league. I only cared about like individual players at the time, you know what I mean? Because as youth, man, in my age, kids my age, man, we were all about individual players, like as fans, you know what I mean? Like Jose Cansecos, your, you know what I mean, your Michael Jordans, and you had people that liked other players, but those were, people that actually like were from that city and like that team, or were just fans of that team, like players that like Dominique Wilkins or Clyde Drexler, and things of that nature. But like when I was growing up, man, I was a Steve Young fan because he was a great quarterback to me. I really hated Montana, but I was a Steve Young fan. It was kind of weird, but to see Stafford come into this team, I had heard about it, and I was living in Tennessee at the time, and man, this redneck guy was like, Detroit, I'm telling you, man, up there in Detroit, man, you guys got a good quarterback now. And I swear, I was like, what? There's no way, man. Detroit sucks dick, bro. They don't. And he's like, by God, I tell you. And they even got that old wide receiver from Georgia Tech, man. I'm telling you, what they gonna call that boy Megatron. There's no way. There's no way. So I'm like, this little redneck dude, man, from Tennessee had to put me up on the Lions actually finally getting a quarterback, and so I looked at, everything, and I noticed, man, hey, this guy still don't got no running back, bro. Like not still don't got no running back, but like, yo, this guy don't got no running game. You know what I mean? Like, I think when I started watching him, they had just got rid of Bush. So, like, you sitting there, man, you're working with Joyke Bell, you know what I mean? And you're not doing much. You have, I think, Lombardi. It's when I really started watching them. Yeah, it was when they had Lombardi. And then that just didn't work out. They got rid of him. And then they had Jim Bob Cooter, who was the quarterback coach. And that year, the first year Jim Bob Cooter took over, we looked good. We had like 8 or 9 come from behind wins. And man, it felt good to be a Lions fan again. It was absolutely crazy. Crazy, man. Crazy. So I start paying attention to him, making sure I'm studying film, making sure I'm, you know, up on everything on the player stats and how, we run our coverages and such. And so I noticed, man, that, once we got rid of Sue, man, that we just couldn't get better on defense, man. That tackle position just kept declining and declining and just getting just to the point where, yeah, it was a real hole. Like that, we haven't been able to fulfill the gap that he left behind. And honestly, man, I heard so many people wanting this man gone. Just wondering why. Like, why you guys want Sue gone? This guy's a beast. All right? Oh, man, he was way better. Now he's just a liability. Woo, 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 woo. Now what happens? What do we got? Who we got? Got a lot of promising young men that fucking come through and leave. You know what I mean? Like, we fucking draft Ashawn Robinson. For what? Where is he right now? Does he still play for the Lions? Because I haven't seen them. You know what I mean? Like, then we draft fucking, Deshaun Hand. Where's he at right now? Oh, yeah, he got replaced by John Pennicini from Utah, number 91. I keep track. Our linebacking core is just terrible. And then we have all these more blatant problems. You know what I mean? And getting rid of Stafford has to be done. Like, I would have been begging this man to stay. The fact that he's been here throughout all this time, throughout all these changes, just shows that this player was made from a different cloth that you don't even see in these players today. Everybody today, man, this TikTok crew, man, they all want to, as soon as stuff don't even pan out for them right away, they want out. Man, look at Deshaun Watson, and everybody wants him here. I don't understand why you want somebody that's gonna bail on you as soon as they see something bad, man. We're rebuilding. You think that man wants to come here? You don't want to rebuild in Houston, bro. Come on, man. Be serious. That's a way better franchise. You don't even want to rebuild there, but you guys think he wants to do it here? We don't even have the money to take him. We don't even have the money to re-sign any of the wide receivers that we're about to see come to contract right now. Like, we only have Cephas under contract. But what are we going to do? I'm sure the fans are all pros at what the fuck we're going to do around here, but, it's whatever, man. Like, honestly, I don't understand. I really don't understand how we're going to be competitive in any way. If you guys think that if we pick a QB at 7, that's going to be our answer to our problems, man, you're mistaken. Justin Herbert would have been good, but he plays for the Chargers. Can't even get nobody like that. So what do we do, man? Once we get that quarterback, who's he going to throw it to? All he's going to have is Hawkinson and Cephas. This team is going to be so bad. Like, I don't know if anybody caught what Eisenman said when he did the press conference about the, turning the Red Wings around. But he said 5 years. If you think that's the case here, bro, I already told y'all. Anybody that's my age, 40, you know what I mean? We can rest assured, bro, we're going to leave this earth. For real. We're going to have maggots all in our shit, dog, flowing through our fucking sockets. And we still ain't going to have no Super Bowl. It's just not going to happen. I mean, I love this team, man. I do. I love this team, but I hate everything that it's done to his legendary players, man. These players, you they would have been anywhere else, man. They would just be revered. You know what I mean? Like the stats speak for themselves, bro. Like I don't have to sit here and repeat them. You can just Google them and compare them to every other quarterback out there. Stats speaks for themselves, man. People can sit there and say those are garbage stats, garbage time stats, whatever. Man, listen. The man has 31 come from behind wins, dog. That's the most in the NFL since 2009. So that means, all right, the beginning of time was 2009, which is fair to say because that's when this man came into the league, right? From that moment on, nobody has gotten more come from behind wins than Matt Stafford. That tells you something, man. That tells you something because he don't play defense. He don't play defense. He don't allow points scored on his team. You following me, right? You're catching my drift here, right? Because this goes in a variable ways, right? He could score 31 because this is an honest to goodness fucking stat, right? He could score 31 points per game, right? Every game this season. And he would have lost by half a point in comparison. Hold on, I'm not saying that every single team scored 31 or more than 31 points, but like statistically wise, we were giving up 31 and a half points per game. That's how much the defense was giving up. 31 and a half points per game. So Stafford could go out there, score 31 points per game. Or just say 4 touchdowns. 1 touchdown per quarter, and then set Prater up for a field goal. And we would still lose every game. And that's rough, man. That's a hell of a predicament to put a quarterback on. You feel me? And yet, this quarterback managed to get 31 come from behind wins with this shit team, this garbage team who cannot hold leads, whose defense has always been bend and give. You feel me? This man has 31 come from behind wins. But those are garbage stats. One of those don't add up. Either the wins don't add up, or the fact that you're saying what the fuck you're saying don't add up. And to me, what y'all say don't add up. Because them stats, they add up to me. The fact that he's never had a running back ranked above 23. Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, not 7, not 8, not whatever. Bro, 23 out of 32 teams. Number 23, that running back was his running back. That was the best running back he ever had. And that's the honest to goodness truth. So, with that being said, all the defenses that every team he faces knows he's going to throw. Hey, he's throwing. He's throwing. They can't run. Hey, he's throwing. And dog still gets down. That's like you being in a fight. You just throw right hand. You're going to get hip to it. You're going to be like, oh, here comes that right hand. You know what I mean? But dog still managed to get 40,000 yards faster than any quarterback out there. Faster than, and I'm not saying this just because it sounds good. I'm saying it because it's true. I'm saying it because it's true. This is a sad day for Detroit, and I want you to mark it on your calendar. It is what it is, man. This is Detroit Rage. I'm out of here.